What is in your mind? What are you thinking about? What do you imagine? I've been praying for guidance on what I say in these videos, and I have been also praying for a little inspiration. I would rather talk from inspiration rather than from obligation. Anyway, a good friend of mine sent me a message saying, and I quote, "Hey, during my devotions I was thinking about you and I want you to know you're in my prayers." That was such a nice message, especially since it was sent from someone I admire, and he came all the way from Taiwan. The next day, one of my daughters called me excited about a book she was reading. The book talks about our mind, our thoughts, healing, etc. She was so excited. The excitement in her voice reminded me of when I was on my search for the truth and how I started my walk with God. It reminded me of how I started forging a personal relationship with Christ. The Bible tells us to guard our minds, and I believe that a lot of those scriptures go unnoticed. I went through a time in my life where I knew in my heart there had to be a change, a reprogramming of the way I thought and the things I said, especially things I said to myself. So through Bible study, I found a scripture from the book of Psalms that really spoke to me, and I used it as a prayer. And furthermore, I wrote it on a card and placed it on my card's visors so that I could see it every day. The scripture is from the book of Psalms, Psalms 51:10, and I quote, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." Steadfast, as you know, it means dutifully, firm, unwavering loyalty. That is, in my case, to anything. So it's creating me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. See, I had the wrong way of thinking in many aspects of my life. Sometimes because of what I had followed as an example. We all learn by example. And if that example is wrong, other times because of what I was told or thought as a child. What we are told as children, especially from our family, weighs incredibly strong on how we develop, what we believe, our identity, and what we think of ourselves. Other times, I had fearful thoughts plaguing me in my mind, those negative movies in our minds that sometimes play over and over. These negative thoughts can lead us to say to ourselves or to say out loud negative things. And what we say, it's very powerful. You got to remember that the world was set into existence. The world was spoken into existence. Now, Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." Anyway, remembering this time of starting my walk with God, and I confess struggling with a lot of things, I had to change my mind, my way of thinking, and I had to reprogram my brain. My daughter's book recommendation and the message I received from my friend inspired me and reminded me of how important it is for people to know about this topic in the Bible. 1 Peter 3:10 says, "Those who desire life and desire to see good days, let them keep their tongues from evil and their lips from speaking deceit." The NIV version says, "For whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech." Romans 12:2, the New International Version says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Let me read it from the Amplified Bible. Again, Romans 12:2, Amplified Bible. And do not be conformed to this world any longer with the superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourselves what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in His plan and purpose for you. There are many scriptures that talk about the renewing of our minds, and also warnings, or the Bible simply letting us know we really need to mind what we think, pun intended. Mind what you think. And this topic, mind, spirit, and what we say, can lead us to prosperity, success, wellness, well-being, health, and healing. Or it can lead us the opposite way, to defeat. So remember, Romans 12:2, the New International Version, says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Anyway, food for thought. We will definitely be talking more about this subject. To support this ministry, please visit www.tiny-church.org and click on the donate button. It is safe and secure. Please also follow us on social media and share our videos. Like and follow our Facebook page, our IGTV channel on Instagram, Periscope, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you prefer audio, we have these messages available as a podcast on iTunes, Podbean, and Tumblr. Until next time, God bless you.